everyone, Mark Meckler here. Welcome to the Sunday night BattleCry. I love the fact that you guys keep coming back. I mean, maybe that means you like me. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying stuff that inspires you. Maybe I'm pissing you off. Whatever it is, I'm really glad you're here. I hope I'm not pissing you off. Hey, I do have a theme tonight, I got to tell you, and you can see it on my shirt here, right? You see what it says? Hell no, Joe. That's my theme tonight because things are out of control in Washington, D.C. Joe Biden completely out of control. I actually think completely out of his mind is the real deal. Joe Biden is out of his mind. I don't think he has any idea what's going on. I think he has full-blown dementia at this point. You've seen the press conference. You know what he did. You know, he can't string two sentences together without a teleprompter. Frankly, even then, he's a disaster with a teleprompter. That's why we don't see him very much in public. You don't see him making many statements. Who's running the show? Right. And that's really the question. I know some of you think it's President Harris behind the scenes. My money is on the Obama administration. What I mean by that is not necessarily President Obama himself, but if you look at the Biden administration, he has surrounded himself with Obama acolytes. So in all the major positions, he's got people out of the Obama administration. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the Obama third term. This is Obama Marxism come to full fruition. That's what we're seeing. And that's our first story tonight. We're going to talk about hell no, Joe, because Joe Biden says he's going to take your guns away. That's right. He intends to take your guns away. And what do we say? All good red-blooded Americans, Joe Biden wants to take our guns away. What do we say? Hell no, Joe. And by the way, if you want to express yourself, if you want to say hell no, Joe, just like I am, we've already sold well over 1,000 of these T-shirts. These are the new T-shirts. They're going like hotcakes. I think we ordered a total. We first ordered 500, but we're well over 1,000 now, almost at, I think almost at 1,100 or 1,200 of them. You can order those. I think actually Producer G has like a 30-second clip commercial or something on these. Producer G, if you got that commercial, can you go ahead and run that commercial now?
The idea is just bizarre to suggest that some of the things we're recommending are contrary to the Constitution.
There it is. If you want to be sporting gear, right? If you want to have the Hell No Joe t-shirt, and you need the Hell No Joe t-shirt, you can go to conventionestates.com/store. They are selling like hotcakes. We have 3,000 of them. They might sell out. Maybe we get more. Maybe we don't. I don't know. One sleeve, by the way, on the left-hand sleeve here, you got your CS logo. On the right-hand flag logo. This thing is bad to the bone. When you go out in public, I guarantee you people are going to do one or two things. They're going to look at it and say, love your shirt. Where can I get one? I get that all the time. And they're going to look at you with the stink eye. And you know what I am talking about, right? People give you that look in the store and you think, that's right. That's right. Read it and weep. Hell no, Joe. Because now what he's saying, by the way, is he's going to not just take away our guns. He does say, by the way, he still intends to take away your AR, my AR. He doesn't even know what an AR is. He's probably never seen an AR. But he says he's going to take them away because, well, they're scary looking, right? That's what he says. And I do like the way they look. I love the way they shoot. I love they're America's sporting rifle, right? So many people own ARs. We got several of them here in the house. Kids love them. My kids use them. They're fun to shoot. They're easy to shoot for novice shooters. He says he's going to take them away because they're too scary. Really, no other actual reason. No statistics would support taking them away. Very little gun violence is committed with ARs, but he's going to take them away because they're scary to Joe Biden. This is, remember, the guy who said that he told his wife she doesn't need one of these. You know why? Because if anybody comes around their house making noise, she's just to step out on the front porch or the balcony with a double-barrel shotgun and fire off a couple of shots in the air. Whoa, that gives me the willies. Because really, if you know anything about firearms, don't ever shoot when you don't know what you're shooting at. Right? That's just the first rule of firearm safety. So old Uncle Joe telling his wife, just randomly fire off a double-barrel shotgun, right? So that's number one. He tells her, just do that randomly. Number two, he says, fire 2 shots from a barrel shotgun. Anybody see another problem with that? Because now, if you think somebody's out there trying to break into your house, you got a double barrel shotgun, you have fired 2 shots, you have precisely 0 shots left in the chamber. I'm glad you guys are so good at math. Old Uncle Joe can figure that out. So I guess what he expects is an emergency situation. His wife is going to take a double-barreled shotgun, which is a terrible home defense weapon, by the way. And you need something that holds more than 2 shots. And get a shorter one, right? So easier to wield around the house. There's lots of good self-defense shotguns out there. Not a bad choice for self-defense in the home. You want something that holds more than 2 shells. And yeah, not a double-barreled hunting shotgun, over under or something like that. I mean, it's just craziness, right? So he has no idea what he's talking about, but he's going to take your guns. If you're an enthusiast, if you're a hobbyist like me, if you like to build guns, which is just a great time, great family project, really fun to do, he's now going to make it so that when you buy parts, literally a metal block, it's like a paperweight that you buy, they're called 80% lowers. He's going to make it so that if you buy one of those, that's now a firearm. By the way, that's equally dangerous to this can of Red Bull, right? Or a paperweight sitting on my desk. But now that's going to be a registered part. I don't think it's going to stand up to Supreme Court scrutiny. I just don't think it's going to make it because that means every gun part is now a registerable firearm. And I don't think that the statute supports that. I don't think the Second Amendment supports that. I think he's going to lose that fight. But the most important thing is your attitude. You saw we had a shirt that says defiance. I love that shirt too because that's got to be our attitude. But your most important thing right now is to support the Hell No Joe t-shirt. In fact, I have a feeling this is going to become thematic for the entire Joe Biden administration. Just Hell No Joe, because he's doing so many things. They're trying to do so many things that are so crazy. It seems like the universal catchphrase, Hell No Joe. All right, so moving on. By the way, conventionofstates.com/store. Let's see if we can get that over 2,000 sales tonight. I think we're at around 1,200. So I need 800 of you. Go to conventionofstates.com/store. Buy the Hell No Joe t-shirt right now. You see it on the screen. Oh, sorry, producer G doing a heck of a job keeping the right stuff on the screen. All right, so number 2, God, I'm just in a defiant attitude tonight. I'm so annoyed about so much stuff going on out there. Number 2 is, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be bold. At this point, the pandemic is over. No masks, no sheep. No masks, no sheep. We need sheepdogs in this country. We need people looking out for the Constitution. We need people defending American rights. We don't need a bunch of sheep wandering around with masks on. And in Texas, a few weeks ago, they got rid of the mask mandate. You know what's been happening in Texas? Cases are down, hospitalizations are down. I'm not saying those two things are linked. I'm just telling you, it's not causing cases to go up. So unless you are a highly vulnerable person and you're really nervous about it, then take off your mask, please. Really. I go into the grocery store now, and it says, you're supposed to wear masks. I don't wear a mask. And I see people see me without a mask on, and they take their masks off sometimes. So we're giving people courage. We're acting like sheepdogs, not sheep. Maybe we need a new shirt that says, no sheep, just sheepdogs, or no masks, no sheep, something like that, right? Give me a cool slogan. Maybe I'll read it here. Maybe we'll put it on a t-shirt, but it's time to stop wearing the dang mask. Really, time to stop acting like sheep. I look at those people wearing masks right now, and I shake my head. Some people I look, I think maybe they're vulnerable. I don't know really. But I see like really young, healthy people, kind of the woke left. It's like I don't know what it is. It's a signal, a virtue signal. I see them wearing masks. I just think, you wear your mask, I'll wear my shirt. And that kind of says where we are on the political spectrum. Because I'm sick and tired of people acting like sheep. We need sheepdogs. So no mask, no sheep, toss the mask. I think we had to burn the mask. We need to do a mask burning party. All right, number 3 tonight, and this is a biggie. Joe Biden has ordered a commission to study adding seats to the Supreme Court. If you just gasped, lost your breath, maybe you didn't hear the whole thing, maybe you think you didn't hear me right, I'll repeat it. Joe Biden has put together a commission to study adding seats to the Supreme Court. For those of you who are not educated in this, it's called packing the court. In other words, we don't like the results we're getting. We don't like the way it's working out. We don't like the decisions. We don't like the fact that President Trump got multiple nominees. We don't like the fact that the court now leans conservative. By the way, not near as conservative as I would like. And John Roberts has turned into a liberal jurist. But they don't like it, and so they're going to look at packing it. Of course, it is a quote unquote bipartisan commission. You think they'll give me a seat? No. You a seat? No. The two people heading it up, a radical liberal professor from Yale, a liberal former member of the DOJ. That's who's heading up. That's how bipartisan it is, right? So they're going to look at the court, look at technical. Funniest thing is, though, and really interesting, this commission doesn't even have the power to make recommendations. I'm not even sure what they're doing. Maybe he's just placating his leftist base. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer came out, and he's a leftist, a radical leftist, radical sort of reactionary activist jurist. He said, terrible idea. This is nuclear. And why I say this is nuclear is because if the left adds seats to the Supreme Court, then the right will simply do the same the next time that they're in control. And it'll go on and on. Eventually, we'll have 10,000 people on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will just basically cease to function, will be a banana republic. I know, we're getting close to that as it is. So I think this is a terrible idea. This is something, by the way, that you and I can deal with convention of states. In other words, we get into convention and we can propose an amendment if we think it's appropriate, limiting the Supreme Court to 9, right? Keep it at 9. 9's fine. If that's what we want to do, if that's what we, the people, decide in convention, we could propose an amendment to take the power away from the Supreme Court or the power away from Congress to decide to pack the court. They're also talking about, by the way, adding, I've seen articles about this, hundreds of federal court seats. And they're trying to do this because they don't like the fact that President Trump was highly effective in placing justices or judges, on the appellate and district courts. You got to give Mitch McConnell credit, not for a lot, but definitely for this. He did a good job confirming judges to the lower courts. And so the left doesn't like that. They want to be able to pack those courts as well. A lot of madness surrounding the courts right now. Speaking of madness, rioting going on right now. Looks like Garrett just muted my mic there. Are we good, Garrett? Have you seen the madness going on in Portland right now? In Portland, the rioters are continuing. I have a question. If you were mayor of Portland, do you think they would still be rioting? If any Republican mayor in the country or mayor of Portland, do you think they would still be rioting? Because I don't think they would be. I mean, personally, you call them the National Guard, whatever you got to do, you stop the damn rioting. So they just recently took over apparently an ICE station, set it on fire with ICE agents inside, threatening to burn it down to the ground, saying kill the agents. This is the kind of stuff still going on in Portland, a once lovely city. I'm sorry for you Oregonians, especially you in the eastern part of the state. You're not like this. You're not crazy people. I'm sorry they're ruining your state. They are. They're ruining your state. They're ruining Washington state. They've ruined California. They're trying to ruin Texas right now, too. Everywhere the radical left goes, they move into good states with good governance, good Republican states, and they try to destroy those states with left-leaning governance. To be fair, some of the Republican states aren't that great either, including Texas. Our system of governance, our Republican Party, not very good here, to be honest with you, generally speaking. Party's okay. Colonel Alan West in charge of the party now, really like Alan. But the politics here, I think they're drifting left. I don't like it. So anyway, we got to keep our eye on what's going on in Portland. We'll pray for y'all because it's a mess. I'm not sure anything is going to fix it except for prayer. Okay, so that's Portland. We talked about Biden. I'm going to my notes. Does this remind you of Joe Biden shuffling through his notes at the press conference? I hope I'm not as incoherent. All right, here's something that's going on that's still just flipping me out every day. And I'm following this closely because I live in Texas. We have an absolute full-blown crisis on the border. And if you watch CNN or MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC, all the communist news networks that are in cahoots with the government, if you're watching all of those, you wouldn't know there's a crisis at the border. But there is actually a full-blown mega crisis at the border. Thousands and thousands of people showing up at the border, unaccompanied minors, little kids being dropped over the border fence, kids being found in the woods alone at night. When I say kids, I mean the little ones. 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, little babies being left alone in the woods. There's massive amounts of sex trafficking going on. The best statistics I've seen say about 30% of women who make the journey from Central and South America and up through Mexico and into the United States, about 30% of them end up getting raped along the way. We have no idea what the real numbers are because a lot of this stuff doesn't get reported. It's probably a lot worse than this. I mean, this is an epic human crisis. This is sex trafficking. This is drug trafficking. The cartels right now making an estimated over $14 million per day. Thank you, Uncle Joe. It's the Full Employment Act for the cartels. I mean, we're talking full-blown drug cartels, criminal enterprises, people with military gear, non-governmental, and Joe Biden's funding them. I mean, he might as well be writing the checks because he's inviting this crisis to the border. And even the Biden administration seems to be cracking a bit under the pressure because we are hearing rumor now. We're hearing a little bit of stuff that they might complete the border wall in some sections. And Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar, the communists in the American government, they are very opposed to this. You know what we say about Joe Biden inviting just wave after wave of illegal immigrants into the United States? What do we say? Repeat after me, right? What do we say? Hell no, Joe. That's it. Hell no, just stop. Just stop. You're ruining our country. We believe in a well-regulated, legal immigration, bringing the best of the best from all over the world to the United States of America to improve our country the way immigrants always have. But this open border thing, open border equals no country. We say, hell no, Joe, keeping with the theme. That's the border crisis. It's really bad out there. All right, Producer G, we're going to do something we plan to do. I hope you're ready. I am springing it on you a bit, but we're going to go to something that makes my heart glad, which is we're going to go to sort of a montage of some of the COS grassroots all over the country. These are some of the people you're going to see photos, a montage of people in different legislatures meeting with us in grassroots meetings that I get to see all the time when I travel. This week, by the way, I'm headed out to South Carolina. I'll be testifying on Thursday in South Carolina. I'm doing a big meeting on Saturday in South Carolina, so I'll spend a few days there in South Carolina. Good time of the year to be down there. All right, Producer G, go ahead and show us the montage, and I'll do my best to narrate some stuff over this. Whatever the stuff will be, we'll see. So that looks like we're in Kansas. Look at that group, man. That was just an incredible day at the Kansas legislature. Huge group. It was raining that day. You can see some people like got their raincoats on. That was a big group showed up in the Kansas legislature. They were not allowed in the hearing room, but they showed up. They were in overflow rooms watching video. And then afterwards, we were supposed to meet in the rotunda. Governor Laura Kelly, lockdown Laura Kelly, she wouldn't let us do that. So that's the hearing room. You can see there's not many people in there. There's some people standing behind me in that hearing room. That's what it looks like sitting in the hearing room when we're doing live testimony. The legislators are sitting at the table. It's funny. You could tell the difference between Democrats and Republicans at the table because the Republicans are not wearing masks and the Democrats are. Why is this a political thing? Like, I don't really understand why it ends up being like this, but that's just kind of how it works. So, you know, that's a beautiful Capitol, by the way, if you've never been to the Kansas legislature. Producer G, can we move on to the next photo here? I'm tired of looking. I think that's my back. Might have been. Okay. So this is after the hearing, and you can see Laura Kelly, Governor Kelly, lockdown Laura, would not let us inside the Capitol to have our rally. So here's our rally because it's raining outside, and she drives us out into the rain. Right? Can you believe that? What kind of governor would do that? And so there's this sort of porte-cochere, whatever you call it, tunnel right in front of the Capitol. And we were standing underneath. That's, I believe, Dave Schneider talking to the crew there. And it was just a great crowd. People standing outside. It was cold. It was rainy. Luckily, we had some cover there, and we're able to see a few speeches and listen to some people. I think we've already seen that one, Producer G. That's outside in the rain. Look at that beautiful German Shepherd in the front row. I love that. So these are some of our grassroots in an overflow room watching the hearing right there. And so you can see they're actually looking at monitors is what they're looking at. There you go. There's a shot of them looking at some of the monitors. So there were several rooms and a place out in the rotunda where they could watch the hearings, which I love seeing that. Actually, I think this is now in Wisconsin. The Wisconsin team, by the way, incredibly prepared for hearings. They go into these rooms early and they practice testifying. Some of the best testimony I've seen all over the country. These guys prepare. So if you want to know how to be prepared for a hearing, ask the Wisconsin team. They know how to do it. Can we move on, Producer G? More photos here. Yep, that's inside the Wisconsin legislature after the great committee hearing. A lot of the folks had gone home already. We gathered up as many as we could. That's another beautiful Capitol building, by the way. This is one of the privileges I get is to travel around the country. Right in front of me, you can see I got my hand on her shoulders, Vicki Austri. She's an early volunteer there, but now also works in our development department on the national staff. So really fun to be with those guys. Great, great team. All right, next photo, Producer G. Okay, so this is, I can't remember which legislature is that. Downstairs, I think that's downstairs in the North Carolina legislature. So North Carolina, very small hearing room. They wouldn't let hardly anybody in there. I think there were maybe 4 or 5 people that keep you socially distanced. Yeah, this is the mask madness still going on in these legislatures. And so this is the Grassroots downstairs. That's me and our prime sponsor, Bill Taylor, speaking to the Grassroots. I can't remember I think that might have been right before the hearing. So it's really cool just to see all those people. And that's my favorite part, not the hearing itself. I mean, it's fun to do the hearings and all that. This is, let's see, that's in North Carolina. That's just prior to the hearing. You can see what the hearing room looks like. Kind of weird. 2 long desks, you on the end, and then we stand down at this end. You can see sitting on the desk in front of me there. That's my view. Sitting on the desk in front of me, the big Constitution, the one that the U.S. government follows, and then the little Constitution right there, the pocket Constitution, the real U.S. Constitution. All right, next photo, producer G. What do we got here? Look at all these people watching the hearing. So we overwhelm the legislatures. Nobody else does this. You guys do this. This is what the COS Grassroots is all about all over the country. Makes me so excited to see all that stuff. Let's see. What do we got here? This looks like, what state? Okay, this is North Carolina. Producer G helping me out there. I appreciate it, Producer G. The last one was Nebraska, by the way. This is North Carolina here. And if you look, this is the hearing room in North Carolina. This was a really odd one because there was no place for the speakers. So you can see the chairman standing up the front of the room. There's 2 monitors behind him. There's one on the ceiling in front of him. People were zooming in from all over the country. But what you're looking at is my view, literally. On the left there to your left, looking at the screen, that's the majority leader came in. John Bell, big supporter of ours, came in to make sure he was there to cast a vote for us in committee. We won that committee hearing. The guy on the right, not in the very corner, but the next one up, that's Kidwell, Larry Kidwell. He was our one major opponent on the committee. Man, I just say, not a nice guy. I'll just leave it at that. Not a nice guy. So anyway, that's North Carolina. What else we got, Producer G? Okay, that's it. So there you go. I wanted you to see that because I wanted you to see a little bit of what I get to see when I'm out there traveling around the country. This is my favorite thing that I get to do, is to travel around. It's not to be here in the library. Look, I love being at home. Do we have Levi back there? Can we see Levi on the couch? Look, there he is. He's there. He's working hard as usual, right, on the couch. I know you almost can't see him there. But I love being here. I love being at home. I love being with you guys on a Sunday night. But I really love being out in the field, hanging out with the Grassroots, meeting with the legislators. That's kind of where the prime stuff happens. All right, I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm going to look at some of the comments here. Producer G is going to keep posting comments. Carla Ketting says, do you think Laura Trump will be on the ticket in 2024? I do not, actually. I don't believe she will be. I think she might be sometime in the future. I think she might run for Senate. She might run for the House somewhere first. But I don't think she's going to be on the presidential ticket. Okay, let's see what else we got. Alicia Navarro says, can we press charges on President Biden? I don't think so. I don't think anything that he's done that's illegal. So I can't think of any charges you could press on President Biden. Mark White wants to know, what kind of media coverage do you expect when COS passes the 16th state? Man, okay, I got a bad story about that. So last night, West Virginia legislature timed out. And I just want you to know the honest truth. And I'm going to say this with as little judgment as I possibly can. The Speaker of the West Virginia legislature is Roger Hanshaw. Speaker Hanshaw professed to be a huge COS fan this year. I spent a bunch of time with him personally. He promised me he was going to pass it this year. He said, no matter what, he's going to get it done. He had the support. We had the support in the legislature. We were struggling in the House a little bit. We didn't know what was going on, struggling to get out of the committee, struggling to get a committee hearing. So we moved over to the Senate first. We passed it in the Senate on a voice vote, and God bless the West Virginia Senate, because they've now done this 3 times on a voice vote. A voice vote means it's so overwhelmingly positive, they don't even need people to vote individually. It's just obvious. They all in favor say aye, all against say nay, and it's an obvious pass. So we get out of the Senate, we get over to the House, and we cannot get it out of committee. We get the votes and we get it out of committee, but then they have to put it on the agenda to go to the floor, and we can't get them to put it on the agenda, and it gets blamed on the committee chair and blamed, and we can't move. And by the way, the speaker has told me point blank, the first 2 weeks of the session for the hard stuff, we're going to get that stuff done, and then we're going to get right to COS. We need to do it early. So now we're moving towards the end of the session. I'm growing skeptical. We're all a little bit frustrated. We have a great lobbyist there. We have a great Grassroots team. So we can't get it out of the committee, We finally have to try something a little bit tricky. And we added on to another bill as an amendment. And so there's a meeting between the speaker and some other folks, and the speaker says, I will rule the amendment germane. In other words, I'll say it's okay. I will approve the amendment. And when that amendment comes to the floor, the speaker rules it non-germane. I literally have no idea why, but it is, it's a knife between the ribs. It's bad. He rules it non-germane. He stands against COS after promising the entire session that he's pro-COS and he's going to get it done. So I don't know why. So we go back to the Senate and we do the amendment in the Senate. And we get the Senate to send it over to the House again. So now we have a Senate bill that comes over. It's got our resolution on it as an amendment. So this is last night. We're ready to go. All we need is for it to be heard. We have the votes in the House. No problem. By a wide margin, we've got the votes. We know we've got the votes. And you know what the speaker does? He puts it last, and we have enough time. It goes till midnight. He puts it last, and when it looks like we're going to get to it, he delays on the bill before us and delay and delay and delay. And it looks like, I can't tell exactly, but if you're watching it, it looks like he is conspiring with the Democrats to create a delay on the bill before ours so they can't get to our bill. And what ultimately happens, from what I can tell, the only bill in the West Virginia House that's on the agenda that doesn't get heard is COS, and they time out for the session. I don't know what to say about that. I'll tell you, it feels like we got more shafted by the Speaker of the West Virginia Legislature than I've ever felt shafted by any politician in the last 8 years of doing Convention of States. Now, I'm open to an explanation. I'd like to hear what the Speaker has to say, but he's not saying anything right now. So this is the kind of games that you see when you get out into the legislatures. It's infuriating, it's angering, and we have to breathe and be calm, right? And not attack. But I'm always going to tell you guys the truth about what goes on out there, and that's the truth about what happened in West Virginia. I'm really unhappy about it. We had the votes. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So Mark White, I expect good meeting. We passed the 16th. I expected it to be last night, and I'm really frustrated. All right, Barbara Boyce says, I've had both vaccine shots, so why should I keep wearing a mask like Fauci said? And the answer is, Barbara, do not wear a mask. That just makes you a sheep. Carl Wagon Seller says, just ordered by Hell No Joe shirt. That's awesome, Carl. I need at least 800 of you to do that. Come on, keep the orders coming in. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Pat Scott says, who's paying for illegals to get here? I think that's a great question, Pat. I think there are groups in the U.S. that are causing this to happen. I just heard that there were Homeland Security bags found with instructions for illegals, how to get to the United States and how to get across the border. Really bad stuff. Leanne Kahn says, I'm a new district captain. When will you be in Pennsylvania? I'd love to meet you. Leanne, I'm going to be in Pennsylvania as soon as you guys say you need me. I love coming to Pennsylvania. Come on, man. It's the Liberty State. Did you notice the come on, man? That was the Joe Biden come on, man. Come on, man. I'll come whenever you guys ask me. I love coming to Pennsylvania. Let's see. What can we do to fight Biden's tyranny? I'll close on this. The tyranny is just so self-evident right now. If your friends don't know about Convention of States yet, you have to tell them about it. You have an obligation. If you believe in saving the country, if you want to say, hell no, Joe, for real, we got to call a Convention of States. We got to take the power away from DC. And frankly, not just from Joe Biden, but from both parties. We got to get people engaged because Convention of States is about more than just a convention. We were out there doing door knocking. We were out there doing get out the vote. We made a difference in the 2020 election. If you look at what happened in the state capitals all over the country, well over 100 seats flipped between parties in the state capitals. We were doing get out the vote. Things are a lot better for Convention of States and a lot better for the country because people like you got involved in Convention of States and then got involved in politics more generally. So you need to go to conventionofstates.com. You need to sign the petition. You need to click the Take Action tab and become a volunteer. Leanne, she is a new district captain. That's the best thing you can possibly be. You can go to conventionofstates.com. You can sign the petition. You can become a district captain. That's where we need you more than anything. I'm going to close the night with a shameless pitch once again for our gear because you need your Hell No Joe shirt. And so you go to conventionofstates.com/store. That's conventionofstates.com/store. I'm going to go there right after this. I'm going to look at the numbers. I have expectations for you. I think you guys can do it. We need to get over 2,000 here today. I think we're like at 1,200 when we started. Over 50 to 60,000 people at least will watch this battle cry. 800 of you absolutely need a Hell No Joe t-shirt. Conventionestates.com/store. Mark Meckler